Hi everyone, I'm Sunshine,
And I'm Shogo.
and welcome to OMG Japan.
In this podcast, Rakugo master Katsura Sunshine and Let Shogo delve into the theme of enjoying Japan more, revealing the secrets of Japanese culture and the behind the scenes of our activities, all while aiming to connect more closely with you.
Sunshine, first of all, did you get a haircut?
Yes, I thank you for noticing.
Yeah.
I shot a movie.
Really? That's
Yeah.
crazy. Oh my gosh. What kind
I
of movie?
am the prime minister
Uh-huh.
in
Prime Minister.
in wartime of a fictional country, announcing to the country that I'm attacking
Yeah?
that we are not attacking you to attack, but to protect you. I have no idea. I have no idea about the rest of the plot of the movie, but I'm part of it.
That's
Now,
so cool. Yeah.
my part is about 30 seconds.
Okay. Well. It's still
My part is about
30
30
seconds is actually
seconds.
pretty long, yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's 30 seconds, and I'm on a TV
Uh-huh.
from behind a desk announcing. So the characters in the movie are watching me on TV.
Okay.
And I'll send you the picture of me like doing this so that you could maybe put it as an insert below us here.
Absolutely.
My film debut, so nothing wrong with
Oh,
that.
that's so cool. I was just about to say, have you ever taken part in other movies, but this was your first time doing it?
For a movie, and not that I can remember. I might have done something small. I'm certainly nothing big.
Yeah.
But I can't remember having really taken part in an actual film before. But my friend is producing it.
Cool.
I don't know
Awesome.
I don't know the plot. Apparently, there's a war. That's all I know. My friend said you'd be perfect for the prime minister, the president.
Yeah.
I said I'm not presidential.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have a suit. You got to look at it because it's like actually in the picture I actually look pretty good. I have to admit.
Really? Cool.
I mean, it's not my jacket. The jacket was like 6 sizes too small for me. So to cut the back of the jacket. I shouldn't be revealing this stuff. The movie's not even out. But anyway, nobody's gonna be watching the movie and this podcast. I don't think at the same time. So,
hopefully.
I didn't have a tie. I didn't have a shirt. I borrowed the director's shirt. He happens to be the same collar size as me.
Awesome.
But I did get a haircut, and they said, okay, I brought gel to the set.
Yeah.
I said, okay, how do you want it? I usually have it like this. I usually have it messed up like this. This is my style. A kind of a messy style. But maybe for a prime minister, you want it. They said, no, all back. I said, okay, that's why I didn't. Yeah, that's why I didn't gel it before I came. And then I did it. And then they showed me the pictures that they took after. I said, oh, yeah, okay, I look pretty good.
Nice. Wow. When is it going to be coming out, by the way?
I'm not sure. But later on in the maybe middle of next year, I think.
Cool. Is it going to be on at movie theaters in Japan too, or is it going to be somewhere?
I'm so sorry. I have no clue.
Okay. When the time comes, you can let us know again then.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. We'll announce.
Yeah, and speaking about how you look, by the way, I'm actually wearing my dogi today, my training gear for my kobudo training.
Oh,
I'm actually
okay.
currently, Sunshine, I'm actually in Ibaraki right now. Ibaraki Prefecture,
you're
just
close
east
to me.
of Tokyo. Exactly. So I come to Ibaraki once a month, maybe once every 2 months to film with Asayama Shinryu and Six Sensei for Let's Ask Six Sensei's channel. We film 10 to 12 videos in 2 days.
Right. Okay.
Exactly. So this December, yes, I came here
Yeah.
for 23rd and 24th, so I'm actually in Ibaraki right now, so I'm actually at a hotel. Yeah, so my background's a little bit different, so you might have noticed. Yeah, and it couldn't bring a kimono, so I'm wearing my training gear, which I usually wear for the Last Six Sensei's training.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I see your upper body, it looks like a kimono. Although I did notice that you didn't have an eri today, which is
no, and there's nothing inside it. Yes,
the eri for our listeners is the collar. We talked about that last time. I think the collar with the undergarment. Which I often don't wear. I often wear a shirt under a kimono.
The fabric is kind of like a kendo training gear fabric.
Yeah,
kind of
so it's like
it's really
cloth,
thick and
right?
strong. Yeah, exactly. It's really thick and strong, actually. But
Love it.
anyways, today is Christmas Eve, isn't it? When we're recording this.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we'll probably be
I
posting this
forgot.
maybe first if we want to talk about. Oh, you forgot? Okay.
I'm not,
I was
I'm
going
not
to ask
too,
you actually. You don't celebrate Christmas that much then?
I don't know. No, I mean,
Yeah.
we certainly do in Canada when I was a kid and everything. Being here in Japan, I don't know. Like if I have some friends that want to do something for Christmas, I guess I do, but not really. I don't. This time I have no plans.
Yeah, I thought that was something we could talk about actually about Christmas.
Like
Yeah, in
lining up in
Japan.
front of Kentucky Fried Chicken and going to a love hotel. Is that the?
I guess a lot of people already know about Christmas, how it's
Yeah.
spent in Japan. It's been a huge topic for many years, I feel. So
I was actually just talking about this on
Really?
Kagoshima Radio yesterday.
Oh, you did? Okay, okay.
Yeah. Because the reason
Mm-hmm.
people line up at Kentucky Fried Chicken is because we have turkey, right? You probably did
Mm-hmm.
that when you were in the States.
Absolutely.
And so I was talking about the little bit of the tradition, like the difference of the traditions in Japan and
Mm-hmm.
Canada. But here's one thing, like, okay, so we bring out this massive bird called the turkey and we stuffing, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great
Mm-hmm.
celebration. The food surrounding the turkey is all incredible. You get the salads, you get
Absolutely.
you got good wine going, you've got everything, vegetables, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think turkey is one of the worst foods. Like it's, you say, how do you say pasa pasa in English? Like it's dry.
Dry, I guess. Yeah.
It's dry. So, so a lot of Westerners think it's funny that Japanese people replace the turkey with Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
I will say that Kentucky Fried Chicken tastes a heck of a lot better and is a lot juicier than your average turkey. So I think the Japanese got it right on this one. Much better
Yeah.
off with Kentucky Fried.
Absolutely. Kentucky Fried Chicken exists, I think, everywhere, but I feel it tastes a little bit different in Japan, to be honest. I think,
Does it?
all the fast food restaurants taste a little bit different depending on where you eat it, but it kind of it's probably trying to match each region's taste buds, I think, but
A little
Yeah.
bit. Well, keeping the spirit of the original, right? Like like McDonald's and everything.
absolutely,
I don't know.
sizes and everything, but yeah, I hope you try it out in Japan too.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
that
the lineups
turkey-
at Christmas, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, turkey, what you just said right now, I agree with you 1000%.
Are you serious? I'm so happy to hear that.
When I was in the States, my mother, she did her best to have my younger sister and my younger brother to experience the U.S. as much as possible. So, we're a totally Japanese family. My parents are both Japanese, but she
Yeah.
tried her best to do Easter for us, which we don't, celebrate in Japan so much. We did Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
we did Christmas, the U.S. style and everything. But, so we did turkey every year. She did always try her best to use a big oven and everything that's in the house and everything. And she'd never done that before, of course, but she did her best for our experiences. But the turkey, though, the first year, I still remember this. The first year we did it, the stuffing was bread, I think.
Yeah.
And that was straightforward horrible. And we had to,
really?
not eat almost anything of it, actually. And then for the next year, my mother finally started putting rice in the stuffing instead.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit better, but still the as you said, 80% of the turkey is very pasa, right? It's very
Yeah.
dry, and only
Very dry.
the thigh parts, the momoniki part,
Yeah.
the turkey is a little bit juicier. So I would, my siblings and I would eat those parts, but the other parts were just way too pasa, and it wasn't absolutely not my favorite thing to eat in the U.S.
Oh, I think it's downright dangerous to stick in your throat. You'll choke for crying out loud. I don't know. But that's interesting because she could have just bought like pre-made stuffing, not the stuffing, but like the spices and stuff like that. I mean, the stuffing done right is incredible. That's the best part of the turkey. It's
Oh, really?
incredible to
Okay.
say. It's incredible to say that like you're cooking this massive bird just to get the bread out of its butt and eat it.
Yeah.
That
I mean, the rice
is
part too, I liked. Yeah.
delicious. Yeah, well, yeah, if the stuffing's done right, and every family does stuffing in their own way, but
Oh, cool.
my mom's stuffing was off the charts. I could just eat that all day.
That's
But I agree.
awesome.
Like I've never had a juicy turkey. Like I don't know. You're supposed to be giving thanks, and they're doing like this bird that causes you to suffer. I think they got the holiday wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're just living in Japan, I think 99% of Japanese people would eat turkey ever in their lives. I think. Have you ever
Ever.
seen it in Japan before? Like the turkey that
No.
you'd imagine? Right?
No.
No, right?
No.
I've never seen it ever in Japan before.
That makes me very happy not to see turkey.
Kentucky Fried Chicken instead, then.
That's me giving thanks in Japan that I don't have to look at a turkey.
But good topic though. Speaking of food, Sunshine, what would be something in Japan, Japanese food,
Yeah.
that a lot of people don't talk about, but you would recommend to them? I mean, you've been living in Japan for more than 25 years or something, right? What would you recommend? Like, I mean, like, let's say typical sushi, ramen, everyone knows about that, right?
Yeah.
What's like this one thing that you absolutely love, but most people don't try while they're here?
Well, then I would get very specific. So, I think
Please.
even yakitori is getting really popular in. Certainly, it's in New York. There's lots of yakitori
Absolutely.
shops. It's in
Absolutely.
the West, and yakitori is on the menu of izakayas, and izakaya is almost an English word now.
Really?
However,
Yeah.
However, there's some specific yakitori. Yakitori, for those of you who don't know, is skewered chicken, but they divide the chicken up into the real detailed parts.
Yep.
And they put it on a really small skewer, so you could choose which parts of the chicken specifically you want to eat. It's another Japanese genius. I mean, the Japanese people look at us and we got this big fat half chicken and we're eating it like this is still Stone Ages, for crying out loud. It's very, very refined. The yakitori shops are very fun. They tend to be like a little small. A lot of people sit at the counter. You can just talk to people that you don't even know. I watched Rakugo for the first time at a yakitori shop. I learned Japanese at a yakitori shop. I love them. So I love the culture. Now, there's obviously a way better selection of the parts of the chicken that you're eating here than there's going to be in the West. They just have a way bigger menu here. And so I want to give you two of my favorite. One is called nankotsu. And that's just cartilage. Actually, I think they do have that in the West too, but it might not be a super popular one, but it can be really delicious. The nankotsu. Here's one that I have never had in the West. It's called bonjiri or bonbochi. It can also be called sankaku, which is triangle, because it is a bit of a triangular. And what it is, it's kind of the fatty part of the rear of the chicken, I think.
Exactly. That's right.
It's fatty, but it doesn't feel like you're getting overwhelmed with fat. It's because they barbecue it to a point where it's super crispy. I think people have had pork rinds, do you call it, or something like that, where they just fry the pork up, where you're really just eating fat, but it's fried so well that you don't feel like you're eating fat.
Yeah.
I like it. Just like 100% fat, but just disguise it so it doesn't feel like it. Actually, it's genius, right?
So the nankotsu and the bonjiri are your favorites?
Yeah, bonjiri. Yeah, bonjiri and nankotsu are my favorites. What about you?
No, what's crazy, Sunshine, is that when I was a university student, I actually worked as a person making yakitori for 2 years.
You gotta get it in the States.
Yeah. No, in Japan.
Oh, no way.
In university in Japan. I went to a university called Doshisha University in Kyoto. Yeah, I was there for 4 years, and half of it, before I went to China to study abroad, I was working at a yakitori izakaya.
Oh, that's
actually, I was cooking yakitori for like almost every day, actually.
God. Yeah. Oh, that's right. When we got together in Kyoto, you were all over it. We got some yakitori at that izakaya, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I saw that. You were all.
So I always look at the how well it's cooked, and say like, this one's good, or this one's not so good. I only worked for a year and a half, but yeah. But anyways, with that said, I personally, absolutely, 100% my favorite is seseri. Yes. Seseri is absolutely my favorite. Yeah, seseri is the neck part of the chicken. Yes. Bonjiri should be the root of the tail, I think.
The root of the tail, yeah.
If I'm getting this wrong, I'll have the subtitles and everything on the bottom so you guys can check it just in case. But I love seseri so much. I don't know what's
that's
so special about
interesting,
seseri, but
seseri is extremely. What would you say? It's like the opposite of fatty. It's very. I don't want to say it's dry. I know I love it too, but it's. How would you describe it?
It's a little bit chewier, I think. Yes, but it's not dry though. I would personally say it's really chewy, and it just because you chew on it a little bit more, you get to enjoy the taste a little bit longer than the typical thigh, the momoniku you would have, like the momo. Yeah, and that chewiness is something that I like the texture and the taste. Yeah. Very much.
I want to point out, when I said dry, I wasn't talking about the turkey dry, which is a complaint. It's more like I'm comparing it to the very greasy bonjiri, which is what I like, and this is very lean. That's what I should say. It's a lean part of the chicken, not fatty at all. Yeah, no, sesame, excellent. Yeah,
sesame is absolute favorite, and I don't know what will be next. There we go. I love snagimo. Snagimo is great. Snazuri, you would call it too. Japanese snagimo, snazuri. That's actually an organ inside the chicken where it removes the sand, literally removes the sand from what they eat, because they have to eat everything, right? They get their nutritions, but also the sand when they eat their food. So there's an organ inside their body where they remove the sand off their food, and then just digest the food and get rid of the sand. And that's called the snagimo, literally the word sna, sand is in it.
Suna.
Yeah.
Suna is sand.
Sna. Yes. Snagimo, sna. Yes.
So if you want to explain it to people, it's like, this is the sand filter of the chicken.
Exactly. That's right.
Sounds delicious.
They filter it. Yeah, exactly. So that
snagimo is also extremely... Ladies and gentlemen who are watching this, if you're watching it, I know some people are just listening. If you're watching it, you now have a very good idea of why Shogo-san is extremely lean, and I am very fat.
Snagimo is absolutely not the juicy part. Yeah,
it's not juicy.
I have no
but it's
way
delicious
to explain
too.
it.
I also like the how do you say shokkan in English again?
Oh my gosh, it's really the texture of
texture.
it.
That's it. Texture. Yeah.
Texture, is it great? Yeah.
Tsunagimo. Yeah, it's excellent. I agree with you. Yeah. I like your side of the chicken as well, but it's just funny that the ones we choose as our top are completely opposite in like fat content.
Yeah, I mean, fat content. Yeah, I mean, even when I go to just like to buy groceries, just for everyday dinner and stuff, there's these snagimo sold, at a supermarket, right? I would actually even buy those. Yeah.
And bring them home.
Not even in a yakitori restaurant. So
wow, yeah.
It's really, really good. So that's great. So everyone, you guys have to try out the first of all the bonjiri, yes, all the nankotsu and the sesiri and the snagimo. Yeah, when you go to izakaya restaurant, you gotta tell the staff first of all you want these four.
Yeah, that's it.
And if you're actually in Japan and if you're going to be choosing a yakitori izakaya, I know it's a chain izakaya, but I still personally really recommend Torikizoku.
Oh, you've eaten there. It's excellent.
Yeah, even though Torikizoku is a chain restaurant where it's literally almost everywhere in Japan. I mean,
they're everywhere.
I think there are some regions where they don't have Torikizoku at all, I think. I don't remember if Hiroshima had Torikizoku or not, but maybe they have recently. I haven't had a chance to go back to Hiroshima for a long time, but absolutely near the Tokyo area, Osaka, Kyoto, they absolutely have a lot of Torikizoku. Yeah,
right.
Jump in right away. I mean, their chain restaurants are really busy and such, but it tastes great still. So
they make really big skewers, so they put a lot of meat on it. So it's very generous portions compared to like a lot of yakitori places. And it's the price is very reasonable, and it's very, very good. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, Torikizoku. I'm a fan.
Yeah, Torikizoku is the izakaya that first started the everything is 300 yen system. Do you remember?
Oh, really? Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. Now, of course, recently, taxes in Japan has just been going up constantly, so it's a little bit more expensive. But they were the first izakaya that we don't have, there's nothing written on the price. There's no prices for each menu. Everything is 300 yen. Yeah, the drinks, all the smaller dishes to, all the yakitori, everything is 300 yen. They actually originally started the system. And now there's a lot of izakaya, similar izakaya that mimic the same system, but they started originally. Right now, I think everything is 350 yen or something around there, but still very, very, not so expensive. It's great for a first try to check if you like it or not.
100%, 100%.
Yeah,
it's 350 yen, which with the exchange right now is about $2.
Yeah, exactly. Yen is extremely cheap right now, so. Yeah, that's right. And there was something I wanted to ask you today, because, again, it's Christmas Eve today, right? There was someone explaining in a short video that I watched There's this comedian called Aiku-san. Do you know Aiku? He's
Aiku.
from a group of 5 gentlemen wearing, kawajan, and they're comedians. Something Juku. Do you know them? Yeah. And I think Aiku is originally from the States. And there's this channel, where he talks about English for Japanese people who are studying English.
Right.
And one of his videos, he said that overseas now, we don't say Merry Christmas that often anymore, but we say Happy Holidays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. How what would you say? Is that true? Is it better to say Happy Holidays? Because the reason why I'm talking about this is because in Japan we never say Happy Holidays in Japanese.
Yeah.
We never say Happy Holidays, right?
Yeah.
We say Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Yeah. So I think there's a difference there. Yeah, in Japan and overseas. Would you say that you would usually say Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas or?
Yeah, he's talking about a specific movement called political correctness. And political correctness is like just trying to modernize certain language because it's discriminatory or offensive to people and that kind of thing. So, and this political correctness has existed since I was in university, so maybe before. So that's what almost 40 years ago. But right now, it has gotten to certain extremes. Now, if he's American, like I don't know how much people are thinking about this kind of stuff in Europe. Certainly in America and Canada, there's a certain faction of people who are who say let's be more sensitive to people who may not be. So in this case, it's like people might not be Christian. They might not be Catholic. They might not be Christian. So you say Merry Christmas. It's a Catholic holiday. But as a matter of fact, around the same time, there's very important Jewish holidays, and there may be people who just are non-religious. I can't remember because I'm not up on my Islam, so I'm not sure if there's Islamic holidays at the same time. But basically, so some people have gotten used to, like in public when they don't know people that much, people have gotten used to, instead of saying Merry Christmas specifically, saying Happy Holidays. Then you're not necessarily excluding anyone, or you're not just fingering one religion. And even if people are non-religious, there's the New Year's holidays around the same time anyway. So what he said is right, but I mean, there's very few people who are going to be offended if you say Merry Christmas, but some people might. And on the other hand, if you want to be very sensitive to everybody's various religions, if you say Happy Holidays, you won't go wrong.
Makes sense. That's another really characteristic of Japanese culture, I feel, because Japan, its history, it's been blending so many different together constantly, even religions, right? Shintoism, Buddhism, other religions together. And because so in Japan, Merry Christmas is Merry Christmas. And there's nothing else in that. No one would think about anything else, even if you belong to a different religion. Your family belongs to a different religion, like Buddhism or stuff like that. I think it wouldn't matter at all, actually. So.
I don't think in Japan people are really thinking about the religious aspect of the holiday anyway. It's just I mean, people go on dates, line up in front of Kentucky Fried Chicken, go to Love Hotel, right? So it's a very Merry Christmas, right? I think it's looking at religious sensibilities in countries like Canada and in the States where there's like lots of different religions, and you don't want to make people feel left out. Is the thing. So I mean, I'd love to see that episode and see what he thinks of it. I mean, personally, if someone wishes me a Happy Hanukkah, but I'm not Jewish, like, I'll just say thank you. I don't mind. Whatever.
Okay. Well, but speaking of religions, there was one topic that made me really realize something. It's about when you teach your kids something important. In Japan, it's so typical to say, let's say, for example, a child in a classroom, he throws a broom during the cleaning time, or he kicks the locker. I have memories of my teacher saying that apologize to the locker. The locker, ロッカーさん痛いって言ってるよ. The locker is saying it was painful. You got to apologize to the locker. This concept, I've never thought of it this way before. But I
Yeah.
really feel, after making a lot of videos talking about Shintoism and shrines and such, in Shintoism we believe that everything has souls, right?
Yeah.
In Buddhism too, it's really close to everything. We believe that everything has hotoke in them, basically.
Sure.
So this kind of mindset, I really feel, comes from the Shintoism maybe idea that everything has souls in them. Yeah. So me
Interesting.
too, without thinking about anything, I always tell my kids when they throw something, they get angry and throw something, we tell them, the floor. It must have hurt. You gotta apologize to the floor. Yuka-san ni ayamatte. Something like that. And we do those things so naturally.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't happen overseas, would it? I mean, I don't know all the countries around the world, but...
I've never been. I mean, if the object that you threw something against happened to be an expensive object, I've seen people get angry on behalf of the object, but but there's very heavy object price discrimination there. If you throw a broom, nobody's going to tell you to apologize to the broom. I think that's beautiful. No, I think that's a great way to teach too, because just respect for everything, and just say no, respect everything as if it was alive, and as if it had a soul. And it's very interesting. Like that reminds me of the Japanese itadakimasu, which we would say bon appetit, or let's eat, or something like that, enjoy or whatever. But the itadakimasu is means I'm receiving the soul of the animal that died for my meal, right?
Exactly.
So I think that goes along with that whole idea.
Yeah, because I always have people asking me what itadakimasu means in the first place. Yeah, and itadakimasu, I always explain, is the most polite way to express that you're going to be having the meal. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're kind of putting yourself lower, to express that person like me is going to be having this luxurious meal kind of thing, is what itadakimasu originally meant. Yeah, and then at the end we say gochitsou-sama deshita, right? Gochitsou-sama deshita means this was an amazing meal. Thank you. Yeah, it's in a very, very polite form.
Grammatically very polite, exactly. Because you throw itadakimasu, you actually throw that as an ending in sentences to make your sentence very polite, right?
Yes, that's right. Like, so even for my kids too, I always have them, of course, sit down in their chairs properly with their back screws up, and they're holding their chopsticks correctly. I teach them table manners. I was taught very strictly from my father and my mother.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important. It's a way to show respect to people who you eat with, and of course, eating is something. No matter how much technology develops in the future, it's going to be something we're going to be enjoying as humans, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to be meeting more people in the future, and you want to respect them, show them how neatly you can do, make everyone feel better, right? If you eat in a very not so clean way, it's not very comfortable for everyone. So I'm really strict about table manners, but itadakimasu and gochitsou-sama, I always make them the same. If they don't say, I put them on the chair, gochitsou-sama wa, like that. So I'm actually really strict about that,
Oh, you should be. And the most important reason to be strict about that is that your children's table manners are a reflection on the parents.
Exactly.
So for the rest of your life, you will be judged by the table manners of your kids. I think it was 100% true. When I see someone with bad table manners, that being Japan or the West, it's just like, well, who brought this person up?
Same, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. I mean, detailed,
you're right to do it. You're investing
rules,
in
it might
yourself.
be different, but... Yeah, okay. I mean, detailed rules differ in each culture, right? Yeah. What was really, should I say, a really good experience for me was when I was in Germany. I was 16 years old. My high school was an international high school kind of class, and so about half of our classes were in English and stuff. And so when we were 16 years old, we actually went to Europe for the first time as a school trip. Our Shogo was in Europe, so it was like, wow, I went to Hokkaido, I went to Okinawa, and we're going to Germany and Austria actually. And we had a host family there. We were in Germany for 10 days. And we had a host family there, and of course, you don't have itadakimasu gochitsou-sama, and I was teaching my host family all that kind of stuff. But my host father, was very strict, but everyone getting to the table at once and everyone leaving the table together. He was really strict about that. Even if you finish eating, you're not allowed to leave the table until everyone is done eating. So I was like, oh, this is how you teach table manners, in different cultures. I mean, I don't think that every family in Germany does it that way. Of course, it was probably that one family, but that's not a rule that exists in Japan. It's not so strict about when you leave the table or not, as long as you say gochitsou-sama.
Yeah.
So that was a really interesting experience for me. Yeah.
Because when you get into the Rakugo world, you're certainly not leaving the table until Shisho does.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you, Sunshine, are there any those manners, rules related kind of thing that you were shocked when you first started living in Japan or started your apprenticeship?
During the apprenticeship, now I wouldn't say shocked, but one thing is, and
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. The two of us are involved in various Japan-related projects on a global scale, so please take a look at the description for more information. We're looking forward to your comments too. Then we'll talk to you again in the next one. ありがとうございました。